As you could hear, former President Donald Trump slamming Vice President Kamala Harris's work on the southern border, pointing out the migrant crisis surged during her time in office with President Biden. Harris denies those claims, saying her tough border stance goes back to her time as California's Attorney General. Can Americans hope for some bipartisan legislation, no matter who wins in November? Harris already saying Trump, quote, tanked an immigration bill, and she will sign that bill if she's elected. Let's dive deeper with Border Commerce and Security Council Chairman Nelson Balido. Nelson, do you see these two parties actually coming together to fix this border issue?
You know, Alex, thanks for having me. I'll tell you, the thing is that this is an issue that's has been played over and over and over for probably over a decade and a half. The parties can't agree. Every time they're going to get close to an agreement, somebody drops a poison pill and tries to go too far on something, and there's never an agreement. The issue with this current border bill is that the administration right now has the ability of stopping the illegal immigration right now. You don't need a border bill. You don't need something new. The power is in the presidency right now to stop it. There's not a will to stop it, which is the biggest problem that you have, as you have seen when Biden got into office, rejected all of President Trump's executive orders. Then this massive migration of people that we have never seen in the history of the Border Patrol or our southwest border has hit us to the tune of 2 to 2.8 million people per year on the average. So far this year, we have about 1.8 million people since October 1st come through our borders. Yes, the numbers are going down, but like your other correspondent said, you had 1,500 people also are applying through the CBP One app. That is a more structured way that people come over the ports of entries. They apply in advance once they get to the border. So it just, you're talking anywhere between 3,000 to 4,000 people still coming per day, being processed at the border. Nothing's happened. And what's not being talked about are the drugs, is the fentanyl. It's the illegal stuff that's flowing over the border because we're not looking at the root causes. Now, I will say Kamala Harris was told and asked, handle the root cause. All the way going to Central America, South America, the root cause, sure, it has to do a lot with economics, but it has to do with the people that traffic the product. And that product is humans and drugs. And it's gotten worse and out of control. So we have to address the root cause. Why is it that we only have to address it once you get to the border? Right. I mean, we got to quit playing football on the goal line and start playing football on the 50-yard line. Let's push that border back. Nelson, and start dealing with the root cause.
Nelson, as you say, if the power is in the presidency, Kamala Harris is going to have some work to do if she wants that seat in the White House, given her the nation's thoughts that she's soft on the border. What do you think she needs to change if she is got any shot here come November?
Well, I've heard more about border and Kamala Harris her coming out in the last 2 weeks than I've heard in the last 3.5 years. So, I think we have to look, she has to look, or the presidency has to look at what's happened in the past and how do you address it moving forward. Certainly, there's absolute failure at all levels, but there has to be diplomacy. I would say this is not legislation. This is negotiation. We have to negotiate with Mexico, Central America, South America. There has to be certain sanctions. Quit paying them money, economic dollars that we send to these countries without disincentivizing them to do something about it. As an example, if I don't have to house you, if I don't have to feed you, if I don't have to secure you, educate you, transport you, and you're going to send money back to home countries, just $5.2 billion went to Mexico alone just last month. 42% of those dollars are illicit funds to fund human trafficking, fentanyl, and other types of drugs. These are cash deals that people are going to Western Union, MoneyGram, sending money back without bank accounts. We don't know how it's getting there, where it's going, how much they're sending. It's a racket and a half. These things have to be addressed. And she's just talking about what happens when they get here. We're not talking about addressing the overall root cause. When you start addressing the root cause, that's when you're going to start seeing real change.
Nelson, we do know that immigration and the border continues to be a top issue for American voters. So this is certainly something that we're going to be paying attention to all the way up until November and beyond. Thank you so much for joining us, giving us your insight today, sir.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.